So this video is going to be about standing for your marriage when you don't want to stand, but God is calling you to stand. So maybe you are in a predicament where your marriage has fallen apart and you are headed towards divorce, or you're definitely separated. Whether you've called for the divorce, whether they've called for the divorce, whether you're done or they're done or you're both are done. Maybe you found out some things about this person. Maybe they were manipulative. Maybe they were lying. Maybe they had an affair. Infidelity. Another baby on the side. An alternative lifestyle that you didn't know anything about. You met and you fell in love with this person only to come to this point, however long it's been, to find out they are not that person. And it's a blow. It's betrayal. And all you can think about is either fixing it or getting away from this person. Maybe they talk to you. The way they talk to you is with such disgust. Every time they come in contact with you, they're rude, they're nasty towards you. You find yourself getting upset and flipping out, and you coming out of character as well. Maybe you have friends and family telling you, girl, you need to get out of there, or guy, right? Because this could be a guy or girl. You need to get out of there. You need to get away from them. God wouldn't want you to be unhappy in a marriage. There's someone else out there for you. You can do better. And with all of that, you still hear this small, still voice that says, no, I want you to stand for this marriage. You're like, what? No, Lord, I didn't hear that. And he's like, yes, I want you to stand for this marriage. And you're like, nope, I didn't hear that. And then that person walks through the door and you see them and they do something else. And you're like, nope, there's no way. I'm moving on. Then you run into another mode of maybe even trying to fix it yourself. Oh, I'll call a Christian counselor, or I'll call the best marriage counselor. And your partner goes, but no, there's no results. Or they don't go because they don't believe in counseling, so they're not doing all that crazy stuff. Maybe you're dealing with a person who speaks to you nasty. Maybe they're a narcissist. And even with all of that, the Lord still says, I'm calling you to stand. And now everybody's looking at you crazy when you're like, I think the Lord is calling me to stay in this marriage. But why would he do that? If God said I'm precious, if God said that I'm supposed to have this person where we're supposed to submit to one another, why would he call me to stay in this? Why can't I be happy? This person has humiliated me. This person has just disrespected me. This person has scarred me. Why would God call me to stand? You know why? Because standing or staying in a marriage is not just about the other person. It's bigger than that. Maybe right now you can't see that, you can't feel that because you're being bombarded with everything. And it may be in your mind, when you hear the word stand, it means doormat. Be a doormat. Just continue to walk in love no matter what this person is doing to you. Let them just walk all over you. But I'm here to say that's not what it is. First and foremost, standing is a calling. And not everybody is called to stand. But if the Lord has called you to stand, this is an assignment for you. And right now, you may see this person as your enemy, and you want nothing to do with them. Or you want them to just act right. Just act right. But what does the Bible tell us? That Satan, what? He roars aloud. He walks around like a roaring lion, seeking those he can devour. That you are not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Your spouse is not your enemy, even though it does not look like that right now. And your calling for your assignment is because God has a purpose for you. And so I'm going to ask you, are you going to stand? Okay, maybe you have a question. Well, what does it entail, God, of standing? What does it mean? I don't know. Maybe you started looking up videos already and you heard all of these horror stories of people standing for years on end, and all of the abuse and, you know, and all of the neglect and everything that they went through. And you're like, I don't want that. But here's what I can say. If you say yes, understand that the end of this is already written. From the standing to the reconciliation to the restoration. But it's not going to be restoring what you see now or even what you've had before. God is going to bring you something completely different and new as you go through this process. See, there's work that needs to be done. And some of that work will be about your significant other, but a lot of it is going to start with you. See, you were chosen for a reason. There may be some things that need to be broken off of your bloodline that you're being called to do at this time because it's pivotal. And I don't know, I didn't say that right, but it's pivotal. There's some things that you may need to work on. See, oftentimes when you go through this journey, especially when you're talking to people who love you, they may say things like, there's nothing wrong with you. Why would God need you to change? They need to change. But then you get before God and He starts working on you. Hey, you have abandonment issues. Hey, you have mommy issues. Hey, you have daddy issues. Hey, you have an attitude problem. Hey, that mouth and that tongue is really sharp and it's speaking curses over yourself on a daily basis. Hey, you're such a people pleaser. You are agreeing with things that you should not have, and you should have just stood up and said no. Maybe you have a very hostile spirit in how you deal with people. Sorry, guys, it's late. So I know a lot of words probably aren't coming out right, but you get it. You have low self esteem, low confidence, and you carry that everywhere you go. And the Lord is like, no, we got to get rid of that. You came from me. You're an example of me. Whatever it is, it could be a multitude of things. Maybe you're dealing with rape. And intimacy is an issue for you. Or you're dealing with it and it's the opposite. You want too much. So there's so many things that we don't realize that are there underneath the surface, that but God knows. And now He's saying it's time to deal with those things. You may be dealing with bloodline curses and don't even know, spirit spouses and don't even know, witchcraft and don't even know. Spiritual debt, bondage, and don't even know. So what God requires is just your yes. What are you saying yes to? Yes, Lord, I trust you in all of my life. Every area. I'm not going to block you off. I'm not going to keep you designated to specific areas, but I trust you in all areas. So I'm giving you my yes. And nothing is off limits to you. And in that journey, you are going to have some ups, you're going to have some downs, you are going to probably have some tears, you are probably going to weep, because there's going to be some things that you are releasing, that you are letting go, and you are, first off, you're dealing with and letting go. Some of you have things that you didn't even know were there, and the Lord is going to reveal it to you. There's some things that are generational in your family, and the Lord is like, no, I'm tired of this. I want this off of your bloodline. I want this off. It should not go any further. But I'm calling you to do it. So here's my question to you. Are you going to stand? You have a choice. So don't think that you do not have a choice. You have a choice. But will you give God your yes? Yes to, Lord, I'll be obedient. Yes, Lord, I will open up every area to you, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I'll be honest with you at where I'm at, a part of. I'll be honest with you at where I'm at while on this journey. All God needs is your yes. All He needs is your yes. But again, it's your choice. Because yes means I'm going to be obedient. Yes means I'm opening my life to you. Yes means, Lord, I trust you. Yes means that I trust His word and His gospel. I trust Him. Yes means bringing that broken heart, that unhealed part of you, pieces of you, and being vulnerable enough to surrender it all. Surrender it all to Him. This will be a journey if you say yes. Even if you don't, okay, let me be honest with you. Even if you don't say yes to this, and you go off and you get into another relationship, or you go off and you decided to just be solo, you are still going to have to do this work. You are still going to have to do this work. So either you're going to be obedient and answer the call now, or you're going to answer it later. But either way, understand that what you are seeing right now, today, in this moment, or the last couple months or years, is not what it will be like on the other end. So I'm going to end my video here. And it is late, so sorry if I said a couple things wrong. And I pray for you on this journey, and I may even make this into a series. So let me know if you want me to make this into a series, because I'm thinking I should. All right, good night.